hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the C Note. I'm your host, Cortez Ransom, waiting for my very special guest, Ms. Lisa Anderson, for what will be episode 11 of the C Note. There she is, right there, right there, right there. Yeah, yes. Hey, Lisa, I see you right there. It'll be popping up on the screen any second, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. Very excited about this episode here.
Here.
Hello,
Hello.
Lisa. How are you? How are you?
Good. I'm good.
Looking good. You
Thank
got that lighted right, didn't you, sister?
you. We gotta do.
I know we got to. We got to. It's good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while.
No, good to
Haven't seen you in a while.
see you too.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Hey, to whoever just came in, I saw somebody just pop in here. We got two viewers so far. Yeah.
Hi,
So
man. That's who that was. Oh, cousin.
who's that?
Her name's Cyan. She's a sweetie.
Hey, sweetie, how are you? When you got to do this part with me, there's this little spiel that I do on every episode.
Okay, what?
Uh, so I say, "Welcome to the C note." You don't have to do that part, just this end part, but you got
Oh,
to turn to the side. I say, "Welcome to the C note, where we keep it 100, and the real recognize real, and we also see you fake asses out there too." You got to do that. With a real recognize real, we also see you fake asses out there too.
did I do it right?
Yeah, yeah. Just
Okay.
give them the side eye. You know how to do that. Well, welcome everybody to episode 11 of the C Note. We have here Miss Lisa Anderson. She is a Baltimore native, right here from Baltimore, Maryland. She is an actress, an author, a well-educated nurse. She has an MSN degree, a MHA degree, utilization manager. Ah,
Yes.
she's very educated. Educated.
Not by choice.
What you say?
Not by choice.
Not by choice.
Right.
Oh, we got to get into that. We got to get into that. You started it right there. So why'd you say not by choice?
Because I wanted to act. I wanted to act. I wanted to dance. I thought I could sing.
You
Um,
thought. You
yeah,
said you thought you could sing.
you have your fake mic, and I was singing Natalie Cole. Inceptible. I didn't even know.
Acceptable.
It's
Oh, because you were a little girl at that time when you did that.
right.
Okay. So it was
Yep,
supposed to be inseparable, but you
right.
said inseparable.
There you go.
Okay, okay.
I thought, well, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to do. I was in the plays at school, and
Hmm.
and my mother, she was supportive, but she was single, so she
Right.
couldn't really support me and go to New York and go to California and that type of thing. So
Yeah.
as I grew up, she was like, I know that that's what you want to do, but you have to do something that's going to support
To
you.
fall back on. Yeah, we're all told that to have something to fall back
Definitely.
on. Always, always. So you said you thought you could sing. So who told you any different?
Uh, I just realized, school,
Oh, you realize it.
yeah, school
Okay.
years are different. You blend in,
Mm.
you sing in the car, and people say, "Oh, you got a nice voice," and then you go a cappella, and you okay. But then when they say hit that note, you like, they're like, "Oh, no."
Well, have you ever taken any voice lessons?
I was instructed to. I was instructed to because I was told I had nice tone. I got nice,
Yeah, because there's probably something there that can be developed.
probably,
You should seek that out, and plus that opens up more opportunities to you if you're able to sing and do all of that other stuff. You can get into musicals and so forth.
yeah. Yeah.
So that's very important. That's very important.
You know,
Um,
I always liked stage and I liked TV, but I had to choose academia. And once you get
mhm.
rolling in that, it's an ego thing, I think, because once you get that first BS,
Yeah.
we could call it a couple things. We can call it a bachelor's of science, or we can call it bullshit.
I like you. All right, go ahead.
But once you get that first one, then it's like, okay, I got
Hey,
to,
Tammy. I saw Tammy come in here a minute ago. If she's
hey,
still there.
you take it, take it to another step. So then you want to
Hmm.
go take it to another level. Um, So that, that's kind of what happened with that. But like about 5 years ago, I decided, let me just go ahead and take it seriously. You
Okay, so before that, before 5 years ago, were you doing anything theatrically, plays or anything? Nothing at all, just focused on the nursing.
That's it. That's all. I just focused on that. And I loved trauma. I mean, I loved trauma. That's where I started. Then I
Mm.
liked ICU. I went there and I loved it.
Well, rephrase that. You like helping people with trauma, not that you love trauma.
Well,
That you love
yeah,
trauma. I know what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah.
phrase that. I loved working in trauma. I did.
Yeah.
I loved it. And it is, you can't replace that. And everything you learned, no one can take that from you. You know,
Yeah.
it helps you to see things differently. It helps you assess other people.
Hmm.
It makes you sharp. So I liked it while it lasted, and then I just wanted to grow in that arena. I don't think
Okay.
I think I was ready for this when I was ready for it. And I
Hmm.
mean, the ball started rolling just one day out of nowhere, and it seemed like I started doing everything. I started writing. I started going to classes,
Hmm.
trying to sharpen every area I could in the craft. And the writing part came in because I was going through a real bad time in my life.
Okay.
And it seems like God just put me by myself. Nobody else was around. I couldn't get in touch with
Right.
my friends. Every time I wanted to do something, nobody was available. It was
Hmm.
kind of, set up that way. If the
I get
universe,
that.
yeah.
Right.
And so,
Yeah, the universe will do that.
yeah, and I didn't
Definitely.
understand what was going on. I was like, why am I being so isolated? I was living out in Edgewood where nobody would come
And
visit.
sometimes being isolated is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Keeps you away from a lot of the nonsense
it
and
did,
unnecessary drama that some people bring. Yeah.
it did. But one day I just got so upset, I just burst out crying.
Oh
And
wow.
I was like, God, what do you want from me? Why is it that you have isolated me from my friends, my family? What do you want? And I think I cried so hard, I fell asleep. And I swear,
Wow.
when I
You
woke up,
cried, literally cried yourself to
I
sleep.
literally
As a saying. Okay.
top of my laptop. Because I was doing some schoolwork. I was one time
Hmm.
when I woke up, I was like, oh my God, did I really fall asleep on this laptop? And a voice as clear as day was like, I told you a long time ago to write. So open this laptop up and start writing. And
Well. See.
I to you not, I wrote 5 chapters in this book.
Right. See that higher power as well as the ancestors will talk to you and tell you what you're supposed to be doing. I know how it is to have a passion for the arts because I've always been into the arts myself. Ever since I was little in elementary school, I started writing when I was like 10 years old, writing plays and writing songs and so forth. And I was always into acting and singing as well. So I really can't imagine doing anything else. Now, when I first started off with that, all I wanted to do was sing and act and all that and write. Now because of some things that's happened in life and stuff like that, I have more of a clear vision of what I want to do with my writing. I'm
Right.
very intentional with what I write because I have experienced police brutality and so forth like that. When I wasn't doing anything wrong at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get into that story, which you probably heard already because I posted about it a few times.
Some,
I don't know if you're aware. Uh, what you say?
some parts of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it happened one night when I was came home from a rehearsal and went out to get something to eat. I had ordered something from a carryout not too far from where I live at, and you know, all I wanted to do was go pick up my food and go back home, but I didn't get to go back home that night. All because this racist cop wanted to fill a quota of arresting innocent black men, and he put his hands around my throat and all this other kind of stuff. Um, you know, but anyway, I'm not going to get into that. This is about you, but anyway, you know some people think that I should be writing in a way that I should be fighting racism, but that's not my calling. My calling is not to fight racism. I did not create racism, so I'm not trying to fight it. My calling is to write to empower our people and to heal our people and to get us to love us and put us first. Um, and that's what is coming from a place of love that the ancestors and the universe, the creator, put in me. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah. But so do you have anything that you specifically uh, write about? What is your purpose for writing?
I actually started writing about, and I'm stuck. I have writer's block, and on top of that, other things that are stopping me from finishing it. I'm actually at chapter 9. I did write 4 more chapters, so
Hmm.
I'm at chapter 9, and the book is called Paternal Damages, and it's about,
Wow.
it gets into the men that I've chosen in my life,
Okay.
from high school all the way to my marriage and after.
Hmm.
And sometimes women and young girls, well, let me change that. Most of the time, little girls, young women, their father is the first person that they have as an example, as a man, the first person they
Hmm.
fall in love with, so to speak.
Hmm.
Um, and the men that they choose oftentimes mock habits, looks, characteristics of their dad.
Right.
Now, my father was not the type of person, if you look at him, he looked good.
Hmm.
But when you sat with him, you realized it ain't all right. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He had what was called flight of ideas, and he had bipolar depression, and he was never
Never
diagnosed
treated.
ever until he got sick in 2014 and had to go in the hospital. And I asked them to do a psych assessment on him.
Okay.
And
Is your dad still here now?
he passed away in 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. I mean, yeah, those parents do affect how people react to things. Like,
Yeah.
um, you hear a lot of hear a lot of bashing of black men nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Now, not all of them, but some of them act that way, the way they do towards black women, because in their particular situation, see, I was blessed with a wonderful woman. My mother is a strong black woman who went through a lot, and she always put her children first.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us were blessed with wonderful mothers, but not everybody was. There
Right.
are some black males who grew up with an abusive mother.
Right.
And because of that, that's why they act the way they do now.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way that abuse manifested itself
Right.
in them. Um, so I want us to just stop blaming each other as black men and black women and start trying to heal each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because we tend to show all this compassion to anybody who's outside of our people. Any other race can do anything they want to us, say anything they want to us, or do anything, and we will forgive them. But with our own people, we tend to hold grudges and over petty things at that. We need to start trying to heal our own people. Healing, for me, healing begins at home with us
Right.
before worrying about trying to unify with somebody else. We got to unite our own people first.
Do.
That's that's simple with me. So back to your acting. So what was your first role once you decided to 5 years ago to get back into?
I was doing a weekly series. It was going to be, um, it was supposed to be bought by Bounce, so the
Okay.
writer,
Wow. Uh-huh.
and we were driving to Philly every week to record
Wow.
series, and it was pretty good. He had some really good equipment, and the
Hmm.
filming was nice. It never quite got off the ground,
Mm.
and I played a medical examiner,
Okay.
and it was based. It was sort of like a NCIS, but it was a little more supernatural to it. And
Hmm.
one day it was just like, okay, so what next? We
Right.
didn't hear him. He didn't call us. We were like, what's up? So that kind of fell to the ground. That was my first lesson in, okay, so this industry, they'll pull you in, and maybe you'll get there, maybe you won't. But let this be a lesson to you that you're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to work. You're
Right.
gonna have to work. And that was the first one. And this is how I know it was just kind of meant. I went to Philadelphia to do a training for a job. And
Okay.
lady, I never met her. She was just sitting across from me. And
Hmm.
I asked her for a pen. And that's literally what I said. I was like, do you have a pen? And she said, did you say you an actress?
That's the word she heard. You said you have a pen, but she heard you're an
Yeah.
actress. I'm an actress. Okay.
Like, what? I said, I didn't say that at all. I said, but what did you hear? And she said, I
It's
thought,
all over you. It's all she could see it.
right. She said she actually thought she heard me say that.
Mm-hmm.
That I was like, how are you doing? You know I'm an actress. I said, I would never say that. She said,
Right.
know that. She said, but it's so funny. And I said,
Yeah.
well, let me show you what I have. I said,
Okay.
speaking of this, she said, let me tell you something. I have a girlfriend in Baltimore. I
Mm-hmm.
said, that's where I'm from. She
Right.
said, really? I said, yeah. She said, her name is Teresa Davis. She said,
Oh.
and Teresa is looking for people who really can act because she's a local Baltimore filmmaker. She said,
Mm.
call her right now and I'm going to send her your pictures. She sent my pictures right there. And Teresa's like, oh my God, tell her to call me the minute she gets back. And that it was history. And I started with Teresa's, she was going to do Percocet.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went to, it's a role for somebody's mother until Death Do Us Part. Then Naeem was like, I got the perfect thing for you. I want you to be a psychiatrist for Black therapy.
Well, we're going to get into that in a second. Is that a Black Therapy T-shirt?
Yes, it is.
Where am I at? I'm a cast member. So you starting stuff. Where am I?
Naeem gave him out.
I didn't get one.
He was,
I have that. I have a bone to pick with Mr. Naeem Freeman because I didn't get my damn T-shirt. Where my T-shirt at? I'm just.
he has a
What
second,
you say?
another one.
I'm just playing, but I do want one. It's all good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
definitely.
We're definitely going to get to Black Therapy in a second. Have you ever done any stage work,
No stage
live play?
work when
Do
I was
you
a kid.
do you want to?
I could.
You said you could. That's not saying you want to. You're like you could. So so you don't really have a interest in live stage productions. You want
I,
to just stick with film.
let me not say no because
Okay.
I remember what it was like when I did those plays when I was a kid. And
Hmm.
I love the applause and I love
Hmm.
the laughter. I love the live response.
I love the feeding off the energy of the audience too. Yeah,
That's
definitely.
fun. So I can't say that
Hmm.
I don't. I think I like the more natural setting of film and TV though.
Okay.
I like that. But I wouldn't say I don't want to do theater.
Well, live theater is natural too. It's that passion, and when you in it, you got to be on it
Yeah,
because you don't get no take two, take three,
right.
take four, take five.
You
You
got to
know, you can't say hold up, audience. Let me do that again.
Barry can do that. I've seen plays and it's hilarious. He'll get,
Uh-huh.
and I had been in a situation where the person dialoguing with me forgot
Hmm.
her lines. When I was a kid
Wow.
for this play, it was fun. And I'm sitting and I turn my neck and my veins are popping out. You know,
Hmm.
we got it together and we kept going. But
Yeah.
I can't say that I wouldn't. I would do it.
Hmm.
I would do it.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Now with Black Therapy, which is a
Mm-hmm.
new series which has had its first season so
Mm-hmm.
far, which I am happy to be a part of myself, which
Yeah.
I'm sure I got on Mr. Naeem Freeman's nerves because Awesome told him about me. Well, Awesome called me up and told me about this role. And of
Uh-huh.
course, I had a billion questions by Naeem, and I'm sure I got on Mr. Naeem Freeman's nerves because I was asking all these questions
But
about the role.
you did an awesome job.
Thank you, thank you. But I was asking all these questions about what does this role entail? Is it going to be something? I was like, is this something that's going to be like degrading to black women or whatever, stuff like that. So I just wanted to know because but I understand this show is very important
Mhm.
because it deals with black people and mental health, which is a very important thing. We need to take care of that. And black people in the quote unquote so-called hood,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
you know, but no matter where we live at, no matter what our zip code is, area code is, we all have some type of mental thing going on,
Mm-hmm.
especially in this country as Black people. Um, a lot of Black people suffer from some form or some level of post-traumatic stress disorder and don't even realize it because living under a racist system is very
Stress.
stressful. And as they say, stress kills.
Yes.
So that's why we we need to, you
Right.
know,
And
that,
COVID has not made it better because it has isolated so many people.
hmm
It is so many people, and it's just really sad.
yeah. And so, with Black therapy, I'm understanding that with this show, of course, you have to show some of the quote unquote ugly stuff to get to the other side, to get to the healing part or whatever.
Right.
So when you were offered this role, what excited you about it and this project?
What really excited me about it was because I was going to play the main character. I was going to play the
Oh, the
like,
storer.
yeah.
I know
But
that's right.
the other part of it was because it was a more down to earth, serious role, and
Hmm
I had to really get to know
Right.
because I'm a baby in the
hmm
you know what I mean. I had to really get to know who Vanessa was,
Right.
and I was challenged to be Dr. Vanessa Harton, but I had to be Dr. Vanessa Harton through Lisa Anderson.
Right.
You know what I mean? How would Lisa Anderson be as a psychiatrist and be Vanessa
hmm
Harton? So that's what intrigued me about it. And then the other part was because my dad had mental health issues, you know, as I mentioned earlier. So this is kind of bittersweet because growing up, I didn't realize what was wrong with him. I just thought he just talked
Right.
just constantly.
hmm
I mean, I'm not exaggerating. People
I
had
know.
to say, people had to, he would talk to people on the street, and
hmm
his depression would cause him sometimes not to wash up, and he would get
Right.
in the car and he would go to 7-Eleven 2 in the morning and just talk to people.
Wow.
People had to actually be like, I gotta go. And they would
Yeah.
have to say it like 3 times for him to understand this person has to go. So um doing Black therapy, I was like, you know, I'm getting to see some of these characters deal with their demons and deal with things that have hurt them sometimes all of their lives, and they never said anything until they come into my office.
hmm
And it, well, before this, I kind of had a lot of empathy with my dad because I understood from his past what hurt him, and
Right.
as a child to become as he was all of my life,
hmm
and my mother and his marriage, why it didn't last, because she just couldn't tolerate it, you
Right.
know. Um, and as I grew up, I realized I couldn't tolerate it either. It caused us to be estranged until he got
Yeah.
sick.
It's tough.
When
Right.
he did get sick, nobody else was around. It seemed like that was orchestrated as well.
hmm
Nobody else was around but me. And I
Right.
had to take the reins, and it showed me how to love my father again, like I did when I was a kid. And it was just, it showed me that I was his deliverance and he was mine. And so Black therapy puts me in a position to bring all of that out when I'm
hmm
talking to the person who's the character in front of me.
Right.
And it allows me to let those emotions go and it comes out in the character.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was the other thing that made me really want to do it. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing where Black therapy is going to
Yeah.
go in the next season.
Episode 8, we have filmed part 1 of episode 8, and we probably almost finished part 2 of episode 8. Naeem is working on some other
Oh, is
projects.
episode
There's a part 2.
is episode 8 the first episode of season 2?
No, it's the end. It's actually the end of season 1.
Oh, because I saw one part already that was supposed to be the season finale. So there's a second part to the season finale.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing wherever Omar slash teacher Omar
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing.
lines up. And if we're going to get some screen time together eventually, I'd like to see that too.
Uh-huh.
So do you have any other projects on the horizon other than one? I'm going to do a shameless plug right now. Other than one fabulous project coming up called We Brothers
Oh,
sometime in the next
which
couple of months.
as Miss Danielle Davis.
Yes,
Uh,
busybody self. Hmm.
you know, um, I'm looking forward to meeting Danielle.
Okay, okay.
You
Well,
know,
I work.
I wonder
Look,
what Danielle is about.
you definitely will see. Look, I have it all down. I'm the type of writer where I'll keep going back and tweaking stuff. I'm like, because I want it to flow, right? It has to flow.
Right.
Uh, Now some things were flowing naturally anyway, but then I'll go back and look at it and I'm like, I don't like that. So I'm not. I don't change the whole scene. I might just change some of the words a
Right.
little bit here and there. But I'm trying to get that to y'all as soon as possible. Definitely get your scenes to you.
Before.
And and I want to commend Miss Lisa Anderson for accepting the role because at first I was like, because I told her I wasn't sure if you would accept the role because this particular role didn't have a whole lot of lines. Um, at least not because my film We Brothers is starting off as a film, but the goal for it is to become a series
Okay.
eventually. So there will be some more opportunity. But I know some people who would be like, "What do you mean it's only a few lines? I'm not coming out for that." And sometimes those are actors that don't even really have any experience, but they already got their nose up in the air about everything.
And do
But you
that
you
because
accepted it.
humble beginnings, because it'll be that one that
Hmm.
for some reason at the film festival or whatever, somebody will see it and they'll be like,
Yeah.
right there, she didn't have a lot, but I need her faith. You just never know. People
Hmm.
miss opportunity because they don't want to start with the humble beginnings. I'm
Right.
that.
And with the film festival thing, look, at first I was trying to write a short film, another short film. Now with me, writing a short film sometimes is challenging because actually my first film was not short.
Oh, okay.
My first film was 83 minutes. Um,
That was
yeah,
that's a
about hour and a half.
yeah,
So trying to write a short film was very challenging to me. There are some scenes of the way that I started when I first wrote it, but then I rewrote some stuff like 4 different times. Like there were a couple of characters in there that I figured I didn't need because I was trying to stay in a certain time frame. So I cut those characters out. Um, you know, and so my film ended up being 27 minutes and 4 seconds. But I was told that I should try to have. I was trying to keep it down to like 18 minutes, but that didn't work for me. Or 17 minutes, And with this project, I'm not worried about trying to keep it down to 15 minutes or whatever. It's going to be as long as it's going to be. It
right.
may end up. It may end up being 35 minutes or 40 minutes. If that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. I'm not worried about it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I had to let the spirit lead me and the characters lead me where it's to go.
Right.
But it's a very important project for a lot of different reasons. Um, and I definitely will try to develop your character into something else as well. Not
I'm
Miss
not
Danielle
out of
Davis.
that. I'm
Huh,
not.
with,
But the other project I'm supposed to do is
wait a
with.
minute, wait a minute. Black Therapy. So when does he expect to have the second part to the finale out? Naeem.
It should be finished by the end of March.
Okay. And with Brother Naeem, when I first met him, and I had to come back. See, my first time on set with Naeem, I really didn't have any lines. I would have just come there and do a little scene standing outside the door,
Yeah,
and stuff like that, and
yeah,
on the couch. But then I ended up getting a couple of little ad lib lines, because Awesome said we should do this on the spot, right? So that scene with me on the couch,
that sounds like awesome.
that was on the spot scene. That wasn't in the script at first. So that's
Yeah,
what happened. But he was like, something Naeem said, are you gonna be here? You're gonna be here and do this and that.
right.
I'm like, I do what I say I'm gonna do. I myself being an actor, but also being on the other, me being on both sides of the table as an actor and the singer on one side of the table, on the other side of the table being a writer and director and all that.
Hmm.
I know how it feels, and I want people to take my project seriously. So
Yes.
when I show up on somebody else's set, I take their project just as seriously as
Right.
I want people to take mine. I show up on time and I'm there ready to work.
Hmm.
Um, I'm never there trying to tell that director how to direct their project. When I'm an actor, I'm an actor. When I'm a director, I'm a director. You know,
Right.
some people who do both don't know how to turn that off.
Hmm.
That they'll show up on your set and try to tell you,
You have to
yeah,
do
yeah, definitely.
it.
Yeah. So you were going to talk about your next project you have coming up, another one?
So the other thing is coming up in March with John Salmon, and
I'm not familiar with.
yeah, he's I was introduced to him through Tammy.
Okay, I know the fabulous Tammy Rogers.
Yeah, she sent him a reel. Ironically, he needed a psychiatrist
Okay.
of me in black therapy, and so he was like, "It's a go." So yeah, in this one, I play a dark type of psychiatrist. I'm
Ooh,
dreadlock type. I'm a piece of work.
dreadlock. You said dreadlock?
Yeah, like I am in black therapy. I have the locks and I'm this earthy type.
Mm-hmm.
It,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like that. She's
And
very,
say it again. You went out for a second.
I'm sorry. I was saying that I don't have the dreads and she's not earthy and she's not sweet. She's a piece of work.
Oh, well, that's interesting though.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Um, because I haven't really gotten to play a quote unquote bad person in a while.
Uh,
But actually sometimes it's fun depending.
yeah.
Well, they say that the actors who are really the nicest in real life are the best at playing quote unquote evil characters for some reason. Probably because we get to work out some frustrations of being so nice in real life and putting up with people's shit that we get to we
Yeah.
get to work out some of that frustration
I had
by
to
being evil to role.
I
What you
could
said?
handle it.
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
Dig deep for this one, but I'm sure I could probably handle it.
Hmm. Oh, I know you can. I know you can.
I'm gonna work at it. I'm gonna work at it. Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. But I think you need to definitely should look into the voice lessons. If people told you that you have a tone there, you should don't doubt it. Don't doubt yourself.
Be like, ah.
If people told the people who told you that you had a good tone, do they sing?
They don't. Well, let me take that back. Let me take that back. Two people that can sing did say that, and they can sing.
And they can sing well. So you there you go. There
Yeah.
you go. Then you should heed that. Definitely. Why you look over to the side and roll your eye?
Because
I'm trying to encourage you.
depending on who's watching this that knows,
Hmm.
like,
Yes.
this girl singing, I can't, that's all I can hear is them saying, Lisa singing whatever.
Well, that's when you show people. That's when you show people. Don't even announce it. Don't even announce that you're going to take voice lessons. Just go and do it, and then come out with it when you're ready. Like bam, here you go.
Be like, uh-huh.
Right.
I, y'all thought.
That's right. Because people love to be naysayers and tear other people down or whatever and
Yeah,
doubt people. So
yeah.
just show them. You know.
We'll, we'll see. But yeah,
We'll see.
I'm excited about the journey.
Hmm.
Like I said, humble beginnings, they don't mean anything to me. I just roll with it because I like what I do. You
Right.
um, and I know there are steps,
Yes.
and you got to start here to get there. That's all.
Hmm.
Because I would hate to, um, let's say I had an audition
Yes.
for up New York. My acting coach is up there,
Right.
and um, well, he gets a lot of work up there. He lives in Maryland, but he gets
Okay.
work up there. He's actually getting ready to be on Blue Bloods again.
Right.
He's a returning character. But his whole thing is, I want you, and he's watched some of the others in Black Therapy. He's like, I want you all to take this to another level. You know, I want you to get headshots. I want you to sign up for casting director classes so you can be on their radar. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. So that way you can get parts that will pay you.
Right.
But with all that being said, I would hate to go to one of those auditions up there and per his workshops, are you ready for New York? I'm not ready because I haven't had any practice. I haven't been working. This allows me to work. It allows me to have fun. It allows me to sharpen the knife so that when I'm ready and I get in front of that person that's going to pay me, they like, oh yeah, she been working.
Yeah. Yeah. I want the Temptations play to open back up so I can audition and I can say ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Like, I'll be Bobby. I'm just playing.
Oh
And
you over. Oh my God. You have like a favorite monologue?
a favorite monologue?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the monologues that for some reason I really like was from a play that I was in, one of my first big roles. Um, I mean, because I've done plays in elementary school and stuff like that in junior high school, but I'm talking about when I just did something at a theater.
Right.
Um,
A real theater.
well, it was community theater, but still a real theater to
Yeah.
me.
It's still,
It was at Arena Players, and I
famous.
was in a.
That's famous all over the United States. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. I've done a whole lot of plays there. I have a long history. have a long history there. And one of the first plays that I did there was that I was in there was a James Baldwin play. I know you're familiar with James Baldwin.
Yeah.
And so it was a play of his called The Amen Corner. And yeah, and I played the son. I played the 18-year-old son of the lead character, the female minister who
Okay.
had a lot of drama going on. And so there's a monologue from that play that I had to do when I was near the end of the play
Okay.
because my character was a musician in the church in his mother's church,
Oh,
and
I said, wow, that's awesome.
he was a musician in his mother's church, and he had been sneaking out lately and smoking and drinking and stuff like that. And his father, he hadn't seen his father since he was um what 8 years old. He hasn't seen his father for 10 years, and he has always been told by his mother that that his father left them. But it comes out when the father pops up on the scene that he didn't leave. It was actually the mother who left because she got tired of him because the father was a jazz musician and she was heavily into church. So she got tired of him hanging out with his jazz playing friends and everything and
Wow.
and everything. So she took the son and left. And just before it comes out that the father really didn't leave, when she finds out that her son been going down to this club that he found out his father was playing at and sneaking out of the house, she says, I never knew my son to lie to me before. God don't like liars, right? God don't like liars. So when the father shows up on the scene and he say, hey boy, I saw you come down to the club. Why did you I knew that was you when I saw you. Why did you stick around to speak? And he's like, wow, you didn't care about me all this time, right? You
Mm-hmm.
left us. And the father was like, I did not leave you. And he's like, tell her, Maggie, who left? Because his mother's name was Maggie, Margaret. They called her Maggie. And
Mm-hmm.
she says something. And he says, tell him who left. Back and forth, back and forth. This went back a few times back and forth. And then finally she says, I did. I left. I got tired of you and this and that. Right? So when she says, I did, I left, the son is like, the part I played was like shocked. Like, you've been lying to me all these years. You let me think that my father left me. So um, I looked at her with tears rolling down my face. And I said, Mama, you just said God don't like liars. Right? And there's a scene near the end of the play because the father collapses and he ends up in because he's dying from tuberculosis.
Mm,
And so the father dies, and the son is ready to leave and go out into the world. And she's like, "There's nothing out there for you." She's trying to keep him home because she thinks she's keeping him safe. And so there's this monologue where he delivers to his mother, basically telling her that he has to go out there. He has to see what's out there for himself, and
right.
he wants to make a difference through his music and so forth. And he tells her that he loves her and he loves his father that's gone now. So that's a very powerful monologue that has always stuck with me for
Right.
some reason.
Right.
Yeah.
That.
What's that?
I can understand that. Hmm.
Yeah. And then
Get
there's
it.
also say it again.
You'll probably never forget it.
Oh, I'll never forget that one. I was actually still doing that monologue at some auditions, like up until like
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still doing like up until 2014.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's a powerful monologue. Powerful monologue. So I never forget it. And then there's a couple of monologues from the play The Meeting, which is about a conversation between Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Um,
About that. I heard
yeah, and
that's
yeah, and I said it again.
that's deep, I heard.
Yeah, it's a very deep play. I never really got a chance to do it with Doug Goldman, who has also been in Black Therapy. I know Doug Goldman from Arena Players.
Yeah.
He's also an arena player, so that's where I know him from.
Yeah.
But he's been playing Martin Luther King. He's been playing Martin Luther King for years.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never done the play with him. I played Malcolm.
Okay.
Um, that should be no surprise.
Yeah,
But
Mr.
anyway, what's that? Say that again.
I said Mr. Goldman is good. He's a good actor.
Oh yeah, he is definitely. But there's some powerful dialogue in that play,
Yeah, I'm sure.
and and particularly with Malcolm's lines, a lot of the stuff that Malcolm say in that play, it sounds like he could say it today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still going on. So I would love to do that play at least one more time because I really feel a connection to Malcolm X. You know, Malcolm X has always been billed as being violent,
Mm-hmm.
but he was never violent. He
No.
never went out. He never went out here and told anybody to just beat up random Caucasians. He
Right.
talked about self defense. He
Right.
talked about self defense. He talked about us protecting ourselves against being attacked and beaten by them.
Mm-hmm.
So he never said just go out here and beat them up. He was like, we have the right to fight back when we're being attacked,
Right.
you know. And because he talked about self defense, he was called violent, but he was never violent. He was never violent at all. And he had a unwavering dedication to our people, because the FBI actually tried to bribe him. They tried to get him to help them,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he refused to do it. He actually recorded them without their knowledge. They came to see him to try to get him to sell out, and
Mm-hmm.
he recorded them.
Mm-hmm. I
He
saw
played one of their.
I saw that in one of those. It was either a documentary or it was
Hmm.
one of the movies. It showed that little thing that you're talking,
Yeah,
that little
yeah,
scene. It was never
yeah.
it never got bigger than that little part, but it showed it.
Well, that actual recording, that
Mm-hmm.
FBI conversation with Malcolm X is on YouTube. I
Wow.
actually, yeah, I actually posted it on the anniversary of Malcolm X's assassination
Okay.
on February 21st. I posted that on my wall, the YouTube link to this conversation of him talking to the FBI, and he basically laughs at them, and he says, y'all must take me for a fool," you
Mm-hmm.
know. Y'all know who you're dealing with. So he straight up told them that he wasn't going to do what they wanted. He wasn't selling out his people. And because as we've been learning a lot lately, they will go to all types of lengths to try to shut down black people who are trying to empower black people. And they will sometimes well, quite often, they will use other black people to help them do that.
Yeah.
They'll hire, they'll hire somebody, they'll dangle money in front of their face, or they'll manipulate them mentally, make them think that they're doing something positive when they're really not. There's a lot of manipulation going on and so forth. And that's why shows like Black Therapy are important too, for another reason, to
Yeah,
help bring out some of this stuff that we're dealing with, the
yeah,
mental issues, the stress.
it's going to get deeper. The whole premise to Dr. Vanessa Hardin, she comes from money and she gives up her
Hmm.
cushy job and moves to an underserved community to open
Okay.
practice. Her girlfriend, who's in politics, helps to fund the program,
Hmm.
but she doesn't know that this whole area is going under gentrification. She has
Right.
no idea. Her husband is all about money. So as far as he's concerned, he,
Yeah, I saw him. I
he's
saw him. He trying to get you to not help the people because all
right.
he wants some dollar bills, y'all.
That real estate.
Right.
So she's dealing with a lot herself, and she eventually, from what I'm told, she's going to be on the couch herself, um,
Mm.
because she's going to be dealing with so much from everybody else. And
So who's going to be the doctor's doctor?
we don't know yet.
Right.
But Tammy
It's
Rogers,
gonna be me, teacher.
I don't know.
Omar's gonna be the new therapist in town.
I don't.
Yeah, that's a twist right
But
there.
that's
Anyway.
a twist. Teacher, but
Right.
she said in her role as Mary, she was walking out of my office one day in one of the episodes, and she said, "After you've poured into all these people,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
it's going to pour into you."
I remember that. I watched that.
Uh, I don't know.
Mm.
But I do want one of my,
Good.
no, this is my favorite dialogue, okay? My monologue, my favorite,
Okay.
let me correct myself, monologue. My favorite monologue. And tell me if you know who this is. I gotta get in the character. Let me
All
stop.
right now. Go ahead.
They say one bad apple spoils the bunch. Well, what about 500 rotten to the core? Now, you're right, Miss Levice. This is a war. This is a war to get 2,000 students who can't even pass the basic skills test. Who is that?
Is that lean on me?
Woo! Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
you were better than him. They should have dressed you up like a man and had you play Mr.
That is my favorite monologue. I love it.
Oh yeah. Lean on me.
And that's why I
That's a classic.
to put them bastards out. And that's all I'm gonna say. Like, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
All
that's
right. Uh,
mm,
so, a Black Therapy is a very important series. It
yeah,
can be found on YouTube
yes.
under Iron Crown Productions, right?
Yes. Sometimes if you just type in I'm sorry, if you just type in Black Therapy, it will come up
Black
because
Therapy.
analytics of YouTube, which I was
Mm-hmm.
by Naeem Freeman. Analytics in YouTube show you your fan base,
Mm-hmm.
where it's most concentrated in what
Mm-hmm.
states. And once so many people search it, it will start bringing it up. YouTube will automatically start to promote it for you.
Okay.
So it'll pop.
Yeah.
So at first, when you typed in Black Therapy, we weren't popping up. It would be other Black Therapy shows or something that was titled Black.
Right.
Now it'll pop up. But if it does not come up when it's typed in, you can always type in Black Therapy, Iron Crown Productions, and all of them will show up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to send me your. Wait a minute. Did you email me or did you send me those pictures on Facebook?
Uh,
Because I need your direct email address again today because I want to send a message to everybody, like a group email to everybody in the cast.
that's
Let them know what's going on.
I can
Yeah.
definitely tell you my email address, or I'll text it to you because I have
Okay.
a text. But either way, I'll send it to
And that scene that you're in, the way it's written now, for the most part, those lines are going to stay that way, but I might end up adding a couple of more
That's fine.
once we start rehearsing.
I'm flexible.
Oh, I know. You a team player, and you're on point. You're definitely on point. You're on point. How long have we been at this? Because I like to go like an hour or uh
Actually, it is 7:18.
okay, almost an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Almost an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Almost an hour. You
So
want to do another monologue?
say again.
You want to do another monologue?
I don't have, well, I have one, but it's part of my book. And
Hmm. Oh
talking,
yeah. Thank you. Bad host. Bad host. Uh, I forgot to mention your book because I did mention at the top
yeah,
of this episode that you are an author and you are an upcoming author. You have a book coming out. So, what is
yeah.
the name of the book? What's the premise of the book? And when will it be released?
So the name of the book is Paternal Damages. And
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
yes, and
Hey,
it's more so of a novella because
wait a minute, because I thought that you said that you were writing a script called Paternal.
no. Now it's funny
That's the book.
it's
Okay.
funny you say that. Do you know somebody read it and said that it should be a play as well?
Mm-hmm.
I lied to you. No,
Okay.
I actually sent it to a publisher and she read it and she was like, "This is a good read." She said, "This is a very
Mm-hmm.
good read, but I need you to finish it.
Yeah.
Need you to finish it." And I feel so bad to this day. I have not
How
finished.
long has it been?
She told me this in 2018.
Uh, yeah, you know better. You know better, Lisa,
I,
because
now,
and with everything's been going on, I mean, I know you still have to go to work and all that, but still, you had some more downtime than usual
I,
because of this stuff, right?
I, I,
Possibly.
I do need to focus on it. And what's bad is I started writing a book July 2011.
10 years ago, almost 10 years ago. Really? Well, it happens like that sometimes. Sometimes it happens like that. It's a process.
I look at people and I'm like, it took them so long to come out with this one book, but this book is awesome, and I
Hmm.
hope I'm one of those people. But
Oh,
the
you will be. You will
book, I lie to you not. It is a good read. It's
be.
very descriptive. I am descriptive. It takes place in fictional it's Baltimore, but it's fictional through my description is that of Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Streets are lined with trees, and it was such a beautiful spring day. And Matt, her name is Millie in the book. My mother, her name is Millie, and the dress she had on was yellow, and how her shoes matched her dress, and she had appliques on her dress at the.
So is this kind of
It's 60 circa. It's circa 1960.
so is this based on your story?
It's based
Is
on
this like a biographical?
my mother, and my
Okay.
dad is like one of the main characters. He is the backbone to the book because he's the reason I wrote it.
Okay.
And
I was just asking because I named a character from my first film, Speak It Real, the first name of the mother in the story Speak It Real, after my mother. But
okay,
it didn't have anything to do with my mother. It's just that I love my mother.
and that's the name of the
I
character.
love my mother, and I wanted to name the mother in the story after the mother, after my mother.
Okay,
So I named the character Minnie because my mother's name is Minnie.
okay.
So,
Name is
like,
that just because I wanted all my characters to be fictitious because most of the people in this book are still living. And so I didn't want, and most of the story is true.
hmm
Most of that story, most of that book is true. I put a lot of fiction in it, but most of the story is true. It's a part in the book where the beginning where she comes home from work and she's like, it's hot as hell in this apartment. She was like, where's the air conditioning?
hmm
And my cousin was babysitting me at the time, and she said, I'm sorry, Glenda, but my dad's name is Harry, but I named him Mitch in the book. She's like, Mitch came and he took the air conditioning out the window. She's like, what? He took the air conditioning out the window.
Right.
She said, yeah, and I tried to stop him, but he just took it and he left. He left us here in his hot apartment. She was like, oh no, we're not doing that. Not that today. She said, come on,
Wow.
get her, and we going. And we went to Sears. And Millie bought a new air conditioner.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
You know, she was in the book, like I said, she's 5'2", 120 pounds, chestnut brown eyes, and beautiful hair, and she don't take no shit.
All right now. That's what I'm talking about. Take no shit.
And
Take
so
no
it's
shit.
a good read. It really is a good read. So yeah, I do need to finish it. I need to finish it.
Hmm.
I need
Definitely. I'm looking
to
forward to that.
get to that. Hmm.
Definitely. I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask you about it every time I see you. I'm gonna nag you. I'm gonna nag till you get it done.
Thank you. I need that because I had that. I had before my mom got sick and she had her two
Hmm.
strokes and she would add because I let her read
Okay.
one day.
Yeah.
I was still typing it in the computer and she read it and she kept going to the next page, the next page. I said, Mommy, I only told you to read chapter 1. She said, this is good. She said, who wrote this? And
Oh, you hadn't told her.
I didn't
Okay.
mm,
Uh-huh.
told her I found it because we like to read books. And I told her I found
Right.
a good book. I said, I don't want you to read it. I got it on my laptop because
Hmm.
I downloaded it electronically. She's like, let me see. And she just kept reading, kept reading, kept reading. And that's when I said it. And she turned around and she had this look
Right.
on her face. She's like, Lisa, you wrote this. I said, I did. She said, I always told you you were a good writer. Even as a child, you wrote some
Hmm.
stories. She's like, you got to finish this. And every time I turned around, she's like, are you working on that book? Are you writing? You know,
Yeah.
and I have to do it. I have
Yeah,
to.
you definitely had to do that. Most definitely you need to get that book done. And I'm gonna ask you about it every time I see you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna nag you about it.
Oh, I have this dream about it that, because I actually think of the characters I would love to play some
Hmm.
parts, I do.
Yeah.
Like Idris Elba, I want him to be the dad.
Right.
That's Harry, that's
Hmm.
Harry. You know,
Yeah.
it's just so many people I think about, I'm like, okay, I want her to be dad. I want her to be that. Yeah. And it's so
Right.
fun and it's funny. It talks about me at one point. I go down south and play with my cousins, and something happened down there. I talk about how my aunt got married and the horse ran away with the buggy.
Where down south?
Say again.
Where down south?
Burlington, North Carolina.
Okay.
I talk about all of that.
Everybody got family in South Carolina and North Carolina,
Wow.
including me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I do have family in North Carolina. None down south. None in South Carolina.
I have I have family in South Carolina and North Carolina, both. Mainly in South Carolina, but also in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm working.
All over the place.
I can with what I got to work with right now.
All right. All right. All right. All right. So you can see Lisa in Black Therapy.
Yes.
Uh, the lady who did the series that you were in, where you were out of town, and the lady thought you said, "I'm an actress." When you said you have a pen, is
Yeah.
that up? Is that up somewhere where people can see it as well?
So Death Do Us Part by Silk White. Hi, Silk
Okay.
White. So yeah, he's an awesome writer. Silk is now in Atlanta, I think, but he
Hmm.
did Till Death Do Us Part, and I am in I want to say season 1. I think I came in on season 1. I want to say episode 18.
Okay.
I started season 1, episode 18.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to check that out when I
Other,
get a chance. I got a lot going on right now myself.
I want to kill his
Some,
wife.
huh?
I said every time I turn around, I want to kill his wife in the episodes. I don't like her, and
Ooh,
Pat,
okay.
she's a meddler. She's real ratchet.
Hmm.
Always trying to come up with a scam to kill somebody or beat somebody up. Got knocked out.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, 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 okay. Well, Lisa, this has been a great episode, one of the best of the C Note, episode 11. I thank you for being here with me, and you're welcome to come back
Well, thank
anytime, 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 Lisa. Um, so uh, look forward to seeing you soon
yes.
and working with you soon, sometime in the next couple of months or so
Oh
on
yeah.
We Brothers, and getting back to Black Therapy by the great brother, Mr. Naeem Freeman.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You're a talented sister. You're a bright, intelligent sister.
Thank
I love you. You're
you.
great.
Thank
All
you.
right.
All right,
See you,
Conte.
Lisa. All right.
See you.
Mwah. All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye now. Bye. Trying to get, is it going to let you go? Hey. Hey, people. That was a great episode. Thank you all for being here. Join me on Wednesday, March the 3rd at 6:30 p.m. right here where my very special guest will be Antonio B. He's a creative strategist. He's a brother that's working on a lot of different things, including um, working in the field of being a sign language interpreter, and he's also an actor as well. So I'll see you on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the C Note. Love you now. Bye.